secrets will be revealed. Love gone wrong will take a new meaning, and an abandoned child will seek love. The end will reveal hidden things. Do you hear it? The cry has changed. Before, it was angry. Now it is tired. But a tired monster is more dangerous than an angry one. Bush baby has been crying for 5 moons. And in the deep forest, someone is crying with it. Someone who was buried alive. Someone who crawled out of her own grave. Her name is Nkechi, and she is the mother of the monster. This is the true story of what happened after. Also, pay attention to the story because somebody whose heart was broken was planning on how to bring revenge to the person responsible for the heartbreak.
Before we continue, my most cherished viewers, have you heard any story about Bush Baby or any other creature's story? Please share your thoughts about it in the comment section. Now back to our story.
5 moons. 5 long moons since the chief vanished into the bush. 5 moons since his wife ran mad and wandered into the river. 5 moons since the villagers of Omofia abandoned their homes and fled. The forest had taken everything. The compound stood empty. The young barns rotted. Goats wandered without owners. And deep inside the bush, behind the old shrine, a creature cried every night. Half spirits, half corpse. Bush baby. But Nkechi did not die. When Mama Ife dug her out of the shallow grave, Nkechi's body was cold, but her heart was warm. Mama Ife carried her like a child. She laid her on a bed of dry leaves inside her witch's hut. For 3 days, Nkechi did not move. Her lips were pale. Her fingernails had turned black. On the 4th night, Mama Ife poured river water into her mouth and whispered her name 7 times. Nkechi coughed. Her eyes opened. The first thing she asked was, "My baby." Mama Ife looked away. That was the answer. Nkechi did not scream. She did not weep. She simply closed her eyes and stopped eating. Day after day, she lay on the leaves. She wanted to die. But death would not take her. She had been buried once. The ground had rejected her. So she lay there, a living ghost. Until Mama Ife shook her shoulders one morning and shouted,
"Your daughter is out there. She is crying for you. And you lie here like a dead goat."
That was when Nkechi learned the truth. Mama Ife told her everything. The ritual, the baby spirit, the half-human monster that now roamed the forest. Nkechi sat up. Her eyes were dry, but her chest burned. She whispered, "Take me to her." Mama Ife refused. "She does not know you. She knows only rage. She will tear your throat out." Nkechi was not afraid of dying. She had already died once. She was afraid of looking into her daughter's red eyes and seeing nothing. No recognition. No memory. Just hunger. So she waited. 5 years of watching. 5 years of hoping.
My beloved viewers, I know you understand that a mother's love is unconditional. Do you agree with that?
So Nkechi stayed, but she listened. Every night she heard the cry. Every night she crept to the edge of the forest and watched. Bush baby moved like smoke. One moment it was under the iroko tree. The next moment it was behind the shrine. Its eyes glowed red. Its fingers dragged on the ground, leaving long scratches in the dirt. But Nkechi was not afraid. That was her blood, her pain, her daughter. She named her Ifeoma. Beautiful thing. Meanwhile, far from Umofa, a man was having nightmares. Chidi had survived the beating.
His ribs had healed crooked. His left eye never saw clearly again. He had run to a village across the river, a place called Agu. He tapped palm wine for a cruel master. He slept in a goat shed. He never spoke of Umofia. But every night, the same dream came. A baby crying. A girl dancing at the New Yam Festival. A shallow grave. He would wake up screaming, his clothes soaked in sweat. 5 years passed. Then one day, a trader came to Agu. The trader had traveled through Mofia. He sat under the palm wine tree and spoke in a low voice. That place is cursed, he said. A monster lives there. A crying baby. It killed the chief, drove his wife mad. The whole village is empty now. Chidi's hand froze. The calabash of palm wine fell and shattered. He grabbed the trader's cloth. The chief's daughter, he hissed. What happened to her? The trader lowered his eyes.
Buried. Pregnant when she died. The baby became the monster.
That night, Chidi did not sleep. He sharpened his machete. He filled a leather bag with salt and iron filings, things that old women said harmed spirits. Then he walked into the forest. He walked for 3 days. He did not eat. He did not rest. He only followed the sound of crying that grew louder with every step. On the 3rd night, he entered Umofia. The village was a ghost town. Cobwebs covered the doorways. A rusty machete was still stuck in the iroko tree. Nkechi's father's machete. He pulled it out. Then he heard it. Close. Very close. A baby's cry, white and deep, coming from behind the shrine. Help me! Please help me! Chidi gripped his machete. He walked toward the sound. Behind the shrine, a figure sat on the ground. It was the size of a child, but its eyes were red. Its hair was thick and matted, covering half its face. Its fingers were long, like roots.
Bush baby looked up. It tilted its head. Then it smiled. A smile with too many teeth. Chidi raised his machete, but he could not strike. The creature's face. He knew it. Not the monster. Something underneath. The curve of the jaw. The shape of the eyes. This was his child. Bush baby opened its mouth and cried again. But this time, the cry was different. Not a trick, not a trap. A real cry. A question. Father. Chidi dropped the machete. He fell to his knees. The tears came. 5 years of tears. He stayed beside the creature. He did not run. He did not raise his hand. He sat down on the ground in front of Bush Baby and wept. He wept for Nkechi. He wept for the child he never held. He wept for the man who beat him and the village that threw him away. Bush Baby stopped crying. For the first time in 5 years, the forest was silent. No wind, no insects, just a man and a monster staring at each other. Then a woman stepped out from behind the trees. Nkechi. She was thin, too thin. Her skin was the color of ash. Her hair had turned white at the edges. But her eyes were alive. She looked at Chidi. She looked at Bush Baby. She walked slowly, her bare feet silent on the dead leaves. She knelt beside Chidi.
Ifeoma, I am your mother. not have to cry alone anymore. I am here. Your father is here. We will not leave you again.
Bush baby trembled. Its red eyes flickered. For a moment, something human appeared in them. A child, a girl, a baby who never got to see the sun. Then the moment passed. The red returned. Bush baby screamed, a loud, piercing scream that shook the leaves from the trees. It grabbed the wooden stool out of nowhere and threw it into the bush. Then it vanished. Smoke, wind.
Nkechi did not move. She sat on the ground where Bush baby had been. She picked up a single strand of thick, bushy hair. She closed her fist around it.
She is afraid. She has never been loved. She does not know what it feels like.
Then we will teach her.
My dear beloved ones watching this, is love not a wonderful thing? Everyone wants to be loved and appreciated, right? Let's continue. But love is not always enough. Because someone else had entered the forest that night. Someone greedy. Remember the rich suitor? His name was Obinna. He had brought 10 goats, 20 pots of palm wine, and 2 bags of cowries. He had been humiliated when Nkechi died. Other chiefs laughed at him. He lost respect. For 5 years, he planned his revenge. He heard the stories of Bush baby. He heard the stories of the stool, the wooden stool that could make a man rich if he sat on it for 7 nights. He did not believe in curses. He believed in cowries, while Nkechi and Chidi held each other behind the shrine. Obinna crept through the bush. He found the stool where Bush baby had thrown it. He picked it up. The wood was warm. Too warm. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Obinna smiled.
7 nights. Then I will be the richest man in all the villages.
He sat down. The first night, he heard crying. Soft, distant. He covered his ears and slept. The second night, the crying was louder, closer. He saw red eyes watching him from the darkness. He did not move. The third night, Bush baby sat on his lap, its long fingers wrapped around his neck. Its face was inches from his. Hot breath, the smell of grave soil. Obinna trembled, but he did not run. He wanted the wealth. He needed the wealth. The fourth night, he began to laugh. Not a normal laugh, a mad laugh. He laughed and laughed while Bush baby cried. The other villagers who had returned to Umofia heard the laughter echo through the forest. They crossed themselves and locked their doors. The fifth night, Obinna's eyes turned red. Not like Bush baby's. Red from burst blood vessels. He had not slept in days. He had not eaten. He sat on that stool like a corpse propped upright. But he did not run. The sixth night, Nkechi found him. She stood at the edge of the clearing and watched. Obinna's lips were cracked. His fingernails had fallen off. Bush baby sat across from him, staring, waiting. Nkechi understood then. The stool was not a test of courage. It was a test of greed. Only a heart that wanted nothing could survive. Obinna wanted everything, so he would lose everything. On the 7th night, Nkechi and Chidi returned to the clearing. They carried a calabash of palm wine. Chidi's first tap in Umofia in 5 years. They carried a piece of cloth, a wrapper Nkechi had woven in her cave. They placed both at Bush Baby's feet. Then Nkechi sat down on the ground. Chidi sat beside her. They did not sit on the stool. They did not ask for wealth. They simply waited. Obinna was gone. His body was never found. The stool was empty. Bush Baby looked at its mother, its father. Then it looked at the gifts, the palm wine, the wrapper. It reached out one long, root-like finger. It touched the cloth. Then it did something strange. It cried. Not the haunting cry, not the trap cry. A real cry. A child's cry. The cry of a baby who had been buried alive and wanted her mother. Nkechi opened her arms.
Come, Ifeoma.
Bush Baby did not move. It could not. The ritual was still there. The half spirit, half corpse curse. Mama Ife was dead. No one could undo what had been done. But something changed that night. Bush Baby stopped hunting. It stopped tormenting travelers. It stayed in one part of the forest, the part near Nkechi's cave. And sometimes, if you walked quietly, you would see a thin woman with white streaked hair sitting on a rock, and beside her, a small creature with red eyes resting its head on her lap. Chidi built a hut at the edge of the forest. He tapped palm wine again. He left a calabash out every night for his daughter. The palm wine was always empty by morning. But the stool remained. It sat under the Iwoko tree, waiting, pulsing. Anyone who took it could still try the 7 nights. Some did. None survived. Because the stool does not test strength. It tests the heart. And greedy hearts always break. One night, a traveler passed through Omofa. He heard the crying. He saw the red eyes. He ran to the village chief, a new chief, not Nkechi's father, and asked,
What is that creature? Why is it still here?
That is not a monster. That is a child who was never born. That is a mother who was buried alive. That is a father who walked through fire to find them. And that stool is your greed staring back at you.
The traveler left the next morning. He did not take the stool.
Are you following the story? If there are areas in the story you don't understand, watch the part 1 of the story on this channel to fill in the gaps. Bush Baby still lives in the forest, but it does not hunt alone anymore. If you hear crying at night, listen carefully. If it sounds angry, run. If it sounds sad, walk away slowly. But if it sounds like a child calling for its mother, whisper this: Ifeoma, your mother is waiting. And if you hear a woman's voice answer, run anyway. Because Nkechi loves her daughter, and she has already buried everyone who tried to harm her child. She will bury you too.
careful the evil you do, the dead remember, the buried rise. And some monsters are not born from hate, they are born from love, the worst kind, the love that was buried alive. Do you hear it? That is Bush Baby, and its mother is right behind you.
Thanks, my beloved, for watching till the end. Please don't forget to tell us the version of Bush Baby's story you have heard about, or any story about such characters you have heard about. The next Bush Baby story continues on this channel soon.